speaking of that, talk to the brother that wants to be that good father for his children, but he never had that example of a father. And I know you can speak from personal experience on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, because I've had a couple conversations even recently with a couple guys that are kind of discouraged. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, they may be in a tight spot in life right now. You know, it's like, hey, you know, I want to see my kids, but I don't have no money to take them nowhere. Or, you know, if I go see them, they, you know, I'm in a messed up situation. I don't want to see them to see me not doing good, you know. So I don't want them to see me struggling. Talk to those brothers, man. You know.
Yeah. And that's a really hard place to be in.
Yeah.
And for me personally, my dad was the man that I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
He took me somewhere once in my entire life, and that's when he worked at a flower shop before he joined the band.
Mm-hmm.
He worked at a flower shop, and Mama needed to do something, so he was my babysitter.
Yeah.
He wasn't my dad, he was my babysitter.
Yeah.
Because he said, I don't want the boy to babysit that boy, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
I remember those words in my head.
Wow.
But long story short, he took me on his route. We never talked. He asked him if I could have a drink, and he bought me an Orange Crush. I remember the drink. And we were in the truck probably 5 or 6 hours, and I sipped on that drink all day just so I could have it.
Wow.
That was the only thing he ever bought for me was that. Well, you know, he paid the bills and Mom paid, somebody paid him.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing I could say he ever did for me. That was the only time we ever spent together.
Wow.
Was that day. And
Hold on. Make sure it's still recording because this is good stuff. All right, yeah.
And that was the only thing that he ever did for me.
Yeah.
And so the way he treated my mom was just really horrendous.
Yeah.
That it made me say, this is the kind of dad I don't want to be.
Yeah.
And I held true to that because when we had you, I was I loved you. I was a loving father.
Yeah.
I would get up and
Yeah.
feed you and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So for men that have teenage kids or even grown kids in their early 20s or whatever, and you just feel like, you know, I missed it in some areas and I really want to be able to make up for it, the first thing that you have to do is to forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you're not going to have the right energy when you're around them. Your forgiving yourself means, I'm your dad, and I really deserve to be in your life. And this is how I want to show you. And you got to have confidence to even say that when you really haven't been that person. And you can't start out by saying, you know I ain't been there, and I really know I haven't done this. And you're starting off in the negative to where they already know that.
Yeah.
You're not telling them anything they don't already know.
Right.
So what you want to do is show up as the person that you really want to be. So it starts with you first.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, one of the other episodes, for somebody who want to lose weight, look in the mirror naked and say, this is me now, but this ain't gonna always be me.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say, yeah, I made some pretty bad mistakes, but I do want to be in my child's life.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to change in order for our relationship to change. So if you're not ready to change, you shouldn't be in that child's life, because then you're going to send mixed signals. If you show up like that, you're going to want to make sure that you're on the positive tip.
Yeah.
And so that takes work. Sometimes it takes having a mentor. Sometimes it takes counseling.
Yeah.
You know, to really get out of that space.
Yeah.
Because it took years to get in that space.
Yeah.
And you can't just walk out.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So I would just say, you know, be real with yourself. Mentors are important.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
If you want to change and you see somebody that you know that you feel like would be a good mentor, somebody you want to befriend, just befriend them. Just say, hey man, you know, I've noticed you, my name is XYZ, you know, my name is XYZ, and I just, you know, I think I like you, man, you're cool, you know, not in the wrong way, but I just like your style, man, you know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to introduce myself. Yeah. And if the dude is on the up and up, then you start a conversation and start a relationship.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I did. I didn't always have men in my life. I wanted them, but I didn't have them.
Yeah.
So what I did was I saw men that I really respected, and I just kind of befriended them, even when I was in church.
Okay.
And then we just kind of started a relationship, and just kind of started from there.
Okay. And so for what about for the brother that's like, well, hey, I'm in this bad situation. You know, I feel like my kids know that I love them, but you know, I'm down on my luck right now. You know, I don't have no money to take them out. I don't have, you know, I can't buy them. I can't bring them a gift when I do come see them. You know, what would you say to that brother?
I say if that's really, really important.
Yeah.
Because some dudes feel like the only way they would know that I love them is I buy them something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and sometimes your environment kind of dictates that, you know. I would say to that particular person, I'm assuming that they don't live with them.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
Yeah, the children are with the mother.
Okay. I'm assuming if that's the case, honestly, brother, there are times when you do have money.
Yeah.
Everybody have money. Sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm going to say this to you. You're going to end up with $20 at some point.
Right.
And if you got a couple of kids at the crib and you got $20, you're going to either buy you some cigarettes, something to drink, or something to eat.
Yeah.
Instead of that, just go on and call your girl and say, look, you know, you mind if I come over and get, if it's a boy or girl, can I just come over and get them and take them to Burger King? I ain't going to keep them long. I just want to take them, get a meal.
Yeah.
And just come by and say, Dad just showed up. You know what? I just want to take you to get a meal. And just go to Burger King.
Yeah.
They're going to be happy.
Yeah.
And let them enjoy that meal and say, look, I know I ain't got much. I don't have much. I'm really working on changing some things. But today, I wanted to take you to Burger King.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you can do, you take that moment to reiterate, I know I ain't got a lot, but what little bit I do have and getting, I want to share that with you.
Yeah.
And that way you got their hearts open till they can receive it, rather than saying, you know, I'm down on the love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're giving them a reason why they should continue to believe in you.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And instead of allowing that situation to or the shame of how you may be viewing yourself in that situation, how you think your kids see you, they just want to be with you.
They just want to be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like, you know, hey man, that was excellent feedback.
Yeah, and you sacrifice your $20 for you. If you really want to be that dad, you're gonna sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's always sacrifice, whether they're in the home or out the home.
Yeah. Good stuff there, yo. So let me ask you this. So you're 70 now.
Yes.
You told us a couple things that you would have done differently, a couple life lessons that you've learned. What advice, well, two more questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, what advice would you give if you could go back and give your, let's just say your teenage self? What advice would you give your teenage self, and what advice would you give your middle-aged self?
My teenage self, that would be easy. I would tell my teenage self, go ahead to go to American Airlines Pilot School and get your license.
Yeah.
I had a situation where I was a junior in school.
Yeah.
And it was back during kind of like the end of segregation, but there was still some elements of it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a strong student academically, but I had some things that the counselors liked. Just my personality and just, I don't know, whatever they saw. Long story short, counselor told my mom that there's a program of American Airlines pilots are going to come and talk to some students. Students, we would like for your son to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So long story short, I was. And I heard the spiel and everything, and at the end we shook their hands, and they wanted to meet my mom. So they set up an appointment to come to our apartment that night. And they explained that they had a program going on for rising seniors to go immediately into airline school.
Yeah.
And they felt like I was a strong candidate for that. But she had to give the okay and sign off.
Yeah.
And so she said, oh, that's great. And after they left, she talked to me about it.
Yeah.
So I'm so hood minded.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, Mama, I don't want to go to airline school. I want to stay here with my friends.
Yeah.
That's what I told her.
Stay in the hood with my friends.
And there's so many youth that feel that.
Right.
And they have opportunities.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
If you're listening, you're youth. But that would be what I would have told myself.
Yeah.
Go to airline school. My whole life would have been different. You may not would have been here.
Yeah.
But I love you.
Yeah.
But you know, if you make different decisions, that changes trajectory of your whole life.
Yeah.
That would have been probably the only advice, because pretty much, you know, I sold a little drugs, but I never went to jail. I drank a little bit and never became alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know, I did all those little things that you do trying to find yourself. Mm-hmm. But that would have been the major thing I would have told myself. Go to airline school.
Okay.
My early 20s self?
Well, your middle age. Like middle age. You know, you could do 20s. You could do it however you want to do it. But just, you know,
I think for middle age, I wasn't a bad guy. I think the main thing with me was getting the kind of job that I felt like I needed for the lifestyle that I wanted. Mm-hmm. So I had to settle for lifestyle based on minimum wage jobs and those kinds of things. I think my thing would have been seek not just jobs, but seek opportunities, financial opportunities.
Yeah.
Which I never did that.
Okay.
I didn't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
But in today's environment, I mean, you can make money just so many crazy ways that you can sit at home and bank like 6-7 figure incomes.
Yeah.
You know, so that would have been my middle-aged self. Look at those financial opportunities to take advantage of. Yeah. I just got stuck with the job and I was okay. Waking up, going to work, coming home. You know, I couldn't see outside of that box. Yeah. But looking back, I should have looked outside of that box.
And that's something too. Even saying that like that, it sounds like that's been a consistent thing as far as your life, just making the most, or not necessarily taking advantage of all the opportunities that were there, you know, for the sake of familiarity.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
So do you think in a way that you may have been afraid of the unknown, or did you just, because of the amount of responsibilities that you had, being a father, having a family, having to provide for your household, that the comfortability of what you knew, you found more security there, and you felt like that was being more responsible than taking a risk on something else? Or
Exactly.
Okay.
That was the thing. I felt it was comfortable. I felt like it was income coming in. Anytime you go outside of comfortability, there are risks.
Right.
I didn't want to have a family, kids, and take those kinds of risks.
Yeah.
Because anytime you step out on something, it takes sometimes money to get started in certain things.
Right.
We didn't have a dime extra to do anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't even pursue those opportunities because I knew if I did, I still couldn't take advantage of it.
Right.
So rather than frustrate myself, I just played in the pond. Instead of going out into the lake. Right. You know, and that life does that. And men today is still dealing with that same thing. Yeah. But my 70-year-old self is different now, because I don't have the responsibility of the family. I mean, I have a wife, but she's grown. Yeah. Just like me. Yeah. You know, so actually the book, for instance, came out of stepping out, getting outside your comfort zone. Yeah. I mean, just the music that you and I recorded, plus, you know, I was with a little recording studio, we recorded some things. And actually the first song is doing real well over in Jamaica. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know, so it's stepping out of that box when you can, when it's all about you're not having anybody else. You don't have the little mouths to feed or the bills to pay. You have bills to pay, but you can navigate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why most successful people now, they're single, because they don't have that responsibility. They can go out there and lose it and get it back and lose.
Yeah.
You know, they don't mind going out there and shoot, man, this car paid me 3 months behind, but I still think this is the right this is the right stock, or this is the right whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they can take that chance.
Yeah.
So, you know, at 61, my whole mentality just started to shift.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not done yet. I'm now looking for opportunities.
And that was the next question.
Yeah.
What does 80 look like for you?
80 looked like for me that I found some opportunities where I'm not trading my hours for dollars, but I'm trading my talent for dollars. Because I still believe, I mean, if I have to work a 9 to 5 or anything like that, if I have to support my wife and me, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like with me, I still can sing a little bit, and singing is big depending on how you place yourself in the environment. I still think speaking is big. I could be like a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Hopefully from these podcasts, I get a call from somebody,
Yeah.
come speak to the men's club.
Yeah.
You know, so as you begin to use your gifts and talents that you know you have, those doors will open up and make room for you.
Yeah.
So my 80s, I feel like I'm going to be speaking somewhere. I feel like there'll be more books. I think it'll all be in that arena of motivation.
Okay.
Because that, I feel like that's my thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I've been given to do is to motivate.
Yeah.
Show a person something that they're not seeing
Yeah.
about themselves.
Yeah.
And be able to help them to use that to ignite themselves. So my 80s, I still feel like I'll be in shape.
Yeah.
Maybe a little wrinkler, I don't know. But I still feel like I'll have mobility and quality of life.
Yeah.
And some travel involved, though we're doing a little travel now.
Yeah.
Some more traveling, because there's so much of the world that
Yeah.
it would change your whole perspective.
Man, yeah. The more I travel, the more I get out of the more my paradigm changes.
Exactly.
Because it just adds a greater depth of context to every situation.
Yeah.
You know?
And you just think all those places you've been to, they've always been there.
Yeah.
But you've just been in the pond.
Yeah.
And I think life is to be enjoyed and lived and expressed. And so traveling allows you to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I see for the 80s so far.
Dope. Well, hey. Well, that's good, man. We can wrap it on up, man.
Yeah,
You know, another episode, man. Of Ask Pops. You know, Pops, you want to just tell them about the book?
Get the book again. This is teeny tiny mini book, and I did it on purpose. So as a man, you get the highlights, so it'll help you to do normal very well.
Yeah.
The Measure of a Man's Dreams, Goals, Reality. Michael O'Hill. You can search it, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere books are sold. Go ahead and get it. $10.95, change your life.
Oh yeah, so hey, y'all definitely grab the book. You hear Pop still dropping little nuggets and jewels here and there on y'all, man, and that's what it's all about, man. Just Pop, you know, y'all hearing Pop's voice, man, him being able to pour out from some of his lessons, some of his life, man, to, you know, help us all out, give us all encouragement, man, and just a unique perspective, man, from a great guy, man. I just want to say, man, just as your son, man, I definitely appreciate all your sacrifice, man. I've definitely learned so much from you just in watching you just as a man, and of course we know nobody's perfect, but you know, I can say in everything, your heart has always been perfect to me.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? And really, man, like I'm so much like you, man. It's crazy. Just you know, sometimes I just look at myself, man. Certain things I might do, certain things I might say. I'm like, man, yeah, that's probably you know what I'm saying? But hey, man, again, thank y'all so much for hanging out. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, man. If you got any questions, anything you want to hear Pop talk about or give advice on or anything like that, man, hit us up, man. Yeah. We're on Instagram at AskPops70, AskPops70. That's on Instagram. Shoot us a DM. You can email us at askpops70@gmail.com. And so, man, just you could write a question in the comment section, so we check out the comments as well when we get them. So, man, thank y'all so much for rocking with us. I am your big bro War
Pops.
and till the next time,
Peace.